Today we're going to start an extended child's pose. So bring your knees out to the width of your mat and sink your hips down towards your heels for a nice extended child's pose as we connect to our breath. Breathe here and allow yourself to set an intention. I am calm. I am peaceful. I am patient. Come back up, breathe into tabletop. Take a cat-cow. Maybe take two. And push your knees up, tuck your toes, coming into down dog. Nice work flowing through those sun salutations, really warming up the body. Let's do a little downward dog twist. So we're going to take our right hand towards our left shin, our left leg. Maybe it's up here on the thigh, maybe it's down on the calf. And just look over your left shoulder. And then place your right hand back. Bring your left hand to your right calf. Twisting over to the right, looking under the right armpit towards the right side of your room. Maybe feel a bit of shakiness in your legs. Breathe into that sensation. And bring both hands back down to plank. Both to down dog. Exhale, coming into plank. Lower down onto the belly. Inhale, maybe coming up into a high cobra. Exhale. Push up into down dog again. This time, walking your hands towards the feet until you're in a forward fold. In this forward fold, at the back of your mat, take your peace fingers, your index and middle, and just place them underneath your big toe for big toe pose. And just find an active pose in this forward fold as your knees are starting to come more long. Your legs are becoming long, not locking the knees, keeping a slight bend. The front of the body is slowly melting towards the earth. Crown of the head is beginning to point downwards, and gaze can be between the legs. Nice work. Another twist. Bring the right hand right in front of your gaze at the bottom of your mat. With your left hand, slowly peel it up so your right knee is going to bend as we twist in our fold. Maybe if your neck is comfortable, you can look up to your left hand, or you can keep your gaze on your right hand if your neck is a little bit strained. Feeling that nice stretch in the left back side of the leg. And exhale. Let's just do a little switch. Left hand in front. Right hand peels up off the earth into the sky. Bend your left knee. Lengthen your right leg. Feel the stretch in the right hamstring. Twisting to the right. And exhale, release back to forward fold. As slow as possible, we're going to lift up, ragdoll, nice and slow, like a zombie, slowly coming away from the earth. And once you're up, roll your shoulders, gaze comes forward, coming into some standing poses. So let's walk all the way back up to the front of the mat. Let's begin by taking our left leg and stepping it all the way back. Drop your back heel, and your left foot is at about a 45-degree angle, coming into Warrior One. So bend the front knee. Feel free to take a second to find the placement so your feet are not directly in one line. It can be splayed out just a little bit. Bending your front knee so your knee is over top of your ankle, not hyperextending it. Hands come up. Exhale, maybe sinking a little bit lower. And just hold this pose. Come back to your intention. Maybe a positive affirmation, as this pose is all about strength, courage. Feeling some heat in the right knee, the right thigh. The right knee should be neutral. And exhale, slowly twist yourself around to Warrior Two. So bring the right hand out in front, stretch your hands apart from each other, really opening the chest. Nice work, everyone. Looking over the right fingertips. Maybe sink a little bit lower without compromising that posture in the front knee. Slowly bring both hands up, pivot the feet. So we're going into our wide-legged forward fold. So you can bring your knees to face forward, hands out in that big star pose. Maybe splay your feet just a little bit, externally rotated. Exhale, hands come behind the back. Inhale, lengthen and look up. And on your exhale, we're going to do a nice, juicy fold forward. So, for me, it doesn't look like too much, but I feel it. So keeping a flat back, a micro bend in the knees, and you might be in the same pose as me. You might have your crown of the head connected to the earth. You might try and figure out a way to connect yourself by stacking some blocks. For me, I have to double stack. Just be careful. You're not putting a weight into your head. And just breathe here wherever you are. If you're really focused on getting lower, and that's a goal for you, you can always bend your knees until you find where you want. But it's really awesome, this stretch in the legs, to keep your legs mostly long. Don't forget to breathe, breathing deep into the sensation. Take one more cycle of breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. On your next inhale, slowly, gently, with kindness, come up. Release the hands. Maybe do a little side to side. Whew. Nice work. And coming over to the other side. So all we're going to do, not very fancy, we're just going to shift the left foot facing the back, and the right foot is just that 45-degree angle coming into the Warrior One without much movement at all. So we're looking at the back of our mat now. Same pose, different side. So again, find that alignment, find the posture. The knee above the ankle, nice long power through the back leg. Maybe sink a little bit deeper into the pose. You're all doing amazing. Watch if your shoulders are squishing into the ears. Let them hang a little bit looser. Maybe your stance with your hands comes a little bit wider. Nice. And let's open up. Feels so yummy to open up the hands. stretch them away from each other. Warrior two. So really opening through the whole chest. Shoulders are pulling back nice and long. One of my favorite active poses. Really sink into this, looking towards the left fingertips, breathing here. Stay nice and strong. Notice I often do this without even noticing it. My backhand goes lower and I think, oh yeah, it's straight. But just try and, even if you don't have a mirror, try to see what even would look like between the two hands. And often for me that feels like my right hand is too high, but it's usually just perfect. If I feel that it's too high. And on your next inhale, come back to that wide-legged stance. Feet can be splayed just a little bit out if that feels comfortable. This time we're going to just have our hands in front and we're going to fold. Nice down. Maybe this time we touch the mat with our fingertips. Maybe we use blocks. Really be gentle. Keep a flat back. Crown reaching nice and long, nice straight. Energy can flow from the tailbone, from the lower lumbars, all the way to the crown, top of the head. And then take a minute to just fold into this. Let your head release. Again, if you're really wanting to get lower, you can always bend your knees if you're feeling that, if you need to get a little bit lower. There's lots of things we can do, but in no way do you have to connect with the earth. In no way do you have to connect with your block. Just hanging there, it's an active pose. Awesome. Let's inhale. Hands come back to the hips. Flat back all the way up. And turning towards the front of our mat again. This time we're going to come into the same leg posture. So front leg is facing forward. Back leg is about a 45-degree angle with the heel firmly planted. Inhale for warrior one. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our right elbow down to the right thigh, and the left hand is going to make a big rainbow, or a big full moon, all the way to the front. Now in this extended side angle, you can stay here if this feels good for you. You can open up a little bit more like a warrior two hands. Bring the right hand down to the earth. Find whatever variation works for you. Some people might even want to take a bind. Listen to your body, don't listen to me in this case. Take your own pose. This is about you and nobody else. Cultivating love and joy for yourself so you can spread it to others. Just holding for another 3 breaths. Maybe taking a yogic smile. And slowly come back to warrior two now, and back into that big star pose. So here we're going to take another variation. We're going to come in transition between our goddess pose. In goddess pose, we are doing a little bit of a squat down, bringing the knees out, and hands can come into a mudra or just palms facing inwards. Inhale, let's lengthen. Exhale, let's sink into the pose. A couple more times. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Nice. One more time. Maybe from our goddess pose, we can slowly look to the back of the mat, coming into our warrior one on the other side, looking towards the back. If you can't see me, that's okay. I'll walk you through it. Same thing as on the other side. So find your breath, find this posture, warrior one. Take your left arm and bring the elbow towards the knee. Draw that big rainbow full moon all the way up overhead. And then finally, take the variation that feels good for you. Anytime you're in a yoga pose, closing your eyes is a really awesome practice to challenge yourself with your balance and going inwards. Listen to your body. Another 3 breaths here. And with grace, with ease, slowly coming up into warrior 2. And then back, that big star. Bring your hands to heart, walk your feet together, wiggle it out a little bit, let the hands release. Balancing sequence. Just a nice, slow, balanced pose to get ourselves grounded for today on both sides. We worked both legs out quite a bit, so let's start with the left leg. Grounding the left leg into the earth. Find stillness in the body and mind. The right leg is going to come up into our tree pose. So it can be on the left ankle, below the knee, or you can support the leg in coming up above the knee. Just making sure we're not putting that pressure on the knee. Hands can come to heart or above your head. And just simply find a focal point and breathe. I have not yet mastered the challenge of closing my eyes in tree pose without falling. And if you do fall, come back in. Maybe it's your body telling you to ease up, be a bit more gentle on yourself. Amazing, nice work. Staying here, we're going to slowly take our right foot and we're going to bring it over our right thigh for figure 4, and we're going to squat down. So we're going to pretend we're coming into chair pose. Hold it here, or maybe your hands are extended. The lower you bend, actually, the easier it is, the more centered with gravity. And then if you want, you can exhale, taking a fold in the standing pigeon shape. Release your head down. With loving kindness, slowly lift yourself back up. And with humility, of course, bring that right leg down, shake it out. Alright, rock back and forth if you need to. Same thing, other side, so grounding into the right foot. Feel that right foot. You can even lift off all toes. Just feel that connection that we often just take for granted, that we can feel so much in our feet. Bring the left foot to your tree pose. Wherever you choose is perfectly okay, as long as you're listening. Maybe maybe for balance, even having your hands out like this might help. You can use a wall. Your hands can come up like you're holding a big ball, or they can stay centered. This is more receiving energy, challenging yourself a bit. This in Anjali Mudra is more going inwards towards your heart center. Soft gaze forward. You're all doing awesome today. Thanks for sticking with me through this morning yoga. Let's bring our left leg, left foot in front of our right thigh. Figure 4. And then slowly, like an elevator, whoa, slowly coming down. Hands to heart or out in front will help you stabilize a little bit more. Hold it here. Option to come down into a fold, taking standing pigeon. Such an awesome opportunity to let go. So much tension holding this pose, so much strengthening. And to fold is just letting go of everything. Releasing. Awesome. Let's, with loving kindness, see if you can grow back. And then release the left foot. Shake it out. If you need to, find any movement that feels good. And come to the front of your mat. Feet the width of the yoga mat. Coming into garland pose, Malasana, yogic squat. So slowly come down like that elevator. Awesome work. Hands can be in prayer position. Rock a little bit, bring the weight to the left, to the right. I definitely feel some tightness in my thighs still that I might need to work on later. And slowly come down. And just bring your hands, fingertips pointing towards the front. And we're just going to do some windshield wiper. Letting go of some of that tension. Releasing all that work we did in our hips, in our thighs, in our calves, in our ankles. Awesome. Scoot yourself forward a little bit. Slowly lower down. Give yourself a big hug so you can just hug your knees in like this. You can wrap your hands around if that's okay for you. Rock a little bit, draw circles. Thank yourself for coming to the mat today. Close your eyes, go inwards. Back to center. Slowly release the left leg long, the right leg long. Palms on the earth. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades in just a little bit. Shavasana. Hang out here. I'll be back to guide you after these, just a couple minutes in Shavasana, very short, so just relax here. Gently place your left hand on your belly, your right hand on your heart. And just a little bit of love and kindness to ourselves. So you can say it inside your head. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be happy and healthy. Maybe thinking about somebody close to you, or all of us practicing together. May you be peaceful. May you be safe. May you be happy and healthy. So just going about with your intention. Let's reach your hands above the head, full body stretch. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingertips. Roll onto your right side, fetal position. Hang out here. We don't want to rush out of today's practice, but move mindfully out of today's practice. Use your left hand to push yourself up. Come to seated, full circle back to how we started today. Hands on your legs, eyes can stay closed. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's exhale, sigh it out. One more. Bring your hands to heart. Thank you for taking the time to join me this Wednesday morning, afternoon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.